Hello, and welcome to Phenom Live. Phenom Live is your place to see Phenom Poker ambassadors playing a little bit of live cash games on Phenom Poker. And right now, I am sitting a little 1-2 ante no limit game and a little 10-20 limit Omaha 8 or better game, trying to get these things going. So if you're out there and either one of those sounds fun to you, hop on. I'm sitting. In the meantime, while we see if anyone joins these games, let's find something fun to join. I was about to hop in this one, which is 4-8 Super Circus Mix, because it seems fun. Look at this mix. Badusi deuce to 7, limit Omaha high, drama high, stud 8 or better, Badesi ace to 5, Badoogie, drama stud high low regular, Archie 66, don't ask me what that is, limit Omaha 8 or better, drama doogie, don't ask me what that is, and deuce to 7 Raz. So I'm gonna keep an eye out, and if a seat opens up here, I'm gonna hop in here and have some fun. Oh, speak of the devil. We are in. All right, perfect. This is perfect, because I'll see if I can get a little 1-2 no limit action going on the side. And in the meantime, I can try to figure out how to play these games. All right. Well, welcome back for any of those of you who were following my brief streaming career. We were getting after it for a few months before the World Series of Poker. And the plan was to kind of feel it out and do it through until the series started, and then kind of shut it down and focus on playing. And I just haven't really cranked it back up. So definitely got a little bit of rust when it comes to the streaming, but played around with it a little bit last night and this morning, and it's coming back to me a little bit. So let's have some fun. So on my overlay at the top of the screen, you'll see I've got a little text box where I've got some rules for the games, and currently have the wrong game up there. I have Omaha 8 or better. Let's turn that one off. Hopefully we'll get some of that later. And we'll pop up the deuce to 7 Raz rules. That way, if you're new to these games, you can familiarize yourself. I'll do my best to think out loud as well. Alright, so deuce to 7 Raz. It's the same as Raz, except straights and flushes count against you, and aces are high. This is a premium starting hand. We've got a lot of low cards behind us, and I'm playing around with having a limping range in early position in spots like these. It allows us to play some of our more speculative hands, get away from times where we limp and then it goes complete and raise behind us. And in order to do that, we're going to want to limp some of our strong hands as well. This being a pretty good starting hand, even though we drew the open ender there. Well, there we go. We got our first winner. And as you can see right here in the middle of the table, you play 6 hands of each game before switching to a new game. And here we have Badusi. I got one more hand before I'll be in the big blind. Badusi's a fun game. So it's deuce to 7 triple draw. That's the structure of the game. 3 drawing rounds. But the best deuce to 7 hand splits with the best Badoogie hand. Although an ace plays high on the Badoogie half as well. When I first started playing this game, I played the ace as a low, thinking it was good for Badoogie, and got scooped, got laughed at. It was a real mess. All right, so in split pot games like this, hey, look, we got some chat going on here. Look at this. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna try and catch up with the chat here in a minute, but so a split pot game like this, we're basically drawing dead to get the Badoogie hand. So even though we got a good D1 when it comes to deuce to 7, we're not overly excited about this hand, but I'm gonna see if I can't make a good deuce to 7 hand for cheap, and we're just gonna get out if we can't. So Moxie stands pat. That's typically a pretty good deuce to 7 hand already. This might be a little nitty, but you know what? We'll take one peel at it. Maybe we can find the magical tray of clubs, and then maybe we could even scoop, because if he's just got like a good deuce hand, you know, a 3-card Badoogie could win a lot here, but Moxie's gonna have to take this one. I'm almost talking myself into playing, but sometimes you gotta tip your cap. All right, let's see what's up in the chat. I hope the poker gods are here for you. Thank you. All right, we got Jay Kurz in the chat. Beautiful. Day 1 Phenom. All right, a deuce and a 5 of different suits. I mean, let's get in here. You only get so many opportunities to play a super circus mix, so we're gonna play some hands. Oh, this is kind of cool. So I got all the chats from, looks like X, Twitch, Kick. They're all being fed to me in one convenient little screen here in OBS, which is nice. Nathan, aka Nate TTV, thanks for the good luck wishes. Wishing me the poker gods to be on my side. Pedo Master 777. Thank you guys for being here. So I'm playing on a 3-minute delay so that I can show you my whole cards. So if I'm responding to your chat in an untimely manner, that's what's going on here. Look at that beauty. What did he have? Number 2 with number 2? That was an insane Badoosie hand. Let's see. Let's get the hand history up and just admire that one. Here we got a good starting hand. Look at this thing that Jaibolito made last hand. Deuce tray 4-6 Badoogie with a 7-6-4. Not bad, man. Okay, our opponent drew 3, we drew 2, so we're gonna keep betting here because this is a good 3-card Badoogie. We get check raised, but we are not going anywhere. Against a draw 1, we're probably facing a decent Badoogie already, but again, we've got a pretty good draw. Yeah. Okay. Probably gonna have to pay off here because they were still drawing and now they check. I don't think there's any chance we're scooping, so check behind and expect to chop with a hand that probably paired on the end. Somehow we scoop. Okay. All right, where are we at now? Limit Omaha High. I think it's easy to overfold in this game from what I've learned. The equities run pretty close together, and due to the limit nature of the game, you shouldn't really be doing a whole lot of folding. I'm no expert at the game, but I think you kind of just get to play a lot of hands and stay around quite a long time and laugh when people get outdrawn and yell at you. Alright, this is kind of fun. Still looking for some 1-2 action on the side, but this is, honestly, with the Super Circus mix, this is kind of fun. So, any of you guys that are new to Phenom Poker, or maybe you're just like strictly Hold'em players, this is one of the many beautiful things about Phenom Poker is you can come in. I'm playing $4, $8, and the most you can buy in for is $400. But as you see, if you're sitting with $100 or $200, you got plenty of play at this table. But we've got limit tables all the way down to 50 cents a dollar. So literally $100 will get you just a ton of play. And you can sit at like a 50 cents a dollar Super Circus mixed table, and you don't even have to know the rules. You can kind of just like learn on the fly and have fun, or just, you know, like look up the rules as you go. I think we've got some great resources on the website, www.phenompoker.com. And yeah, get in here and see what all the rage is about. I know before I started playing mixed games, I would hear people talking about, oh, mixed is so fun, I love mixed, all this and all that, and I was kind of bitter about it just because, like, I don't know, I wasn't really comfortable getting in there. You know, I was kind of like turned away by some imaginary big learning curve, or, you know, like mixed game regulars like snarling at me when I would play mixed games and suck out on them. But I'm telling you, it's one of the best things you can do as a poker player. It just expands your brain, expands your horizons, you know, gives you options on days where you might not feel like playing Hold'em. Instead of turning around and going home and not getting any action that day, all of a sudden you're able to choose something that you want to play that day. So come check us out, Phenom Poker. Use referral code BASEBALDY when you sign up, and you will have a 200% deposit bonus on your first deposit up to 4,000 USDT. All right, what else we got over here? Nathan, but you can call me Nate. Got it, buddy. Thanks, Nate. Thanks for joining us. Are you guys in the chat? I know Jay Kurz, I know you are, buddy, but you other guys in the chat, are you current Phenom Poker players? Do you guys have accounts? All right, looks like we got one more. This and then one more hand of Limit Omaha High. And then where will we be off to? Dramaha High. Beautiful, I love the Dramaha games. I'll get into that in just a minute. All right, so this hand's not all that good, but I'm gonna raise it because I don't think these guys are supposed to fold that many hands even when I raise, but I bet you they will. So I'll just get it heads up in position with a little bit of dead money. And this isn't a complete piece of cheese. Now it kind of is. Blocking no clubs. If we bet again and get called, we're basically narrowing his range to hands that only beat us. So when we check, maybe we can get a river like this and still be able to get some value if we're checked to. Maybe we get to chop here, maybe. Maybe we scoop. That's twice now. I thought we had little to no chance. Surprised he bet that. So this is... When I first started streaming, I'd never really watched a whole lot of poker streams. So I didn't realize people basically just play whatever music they want, right? Like I was reading all the rules and stuff, and Apparently it's gotta be copyright. I don't know. I did it the right way, and I ended up like paying some music service for a bunch of instrumental beat type music. And then every stream I've watched since then, it's basically, they're just playing whatever the hell they want. So I might have to go that route in the future. All right, Drama Ha High. This hand ain't it. Let me get the rules up here. Okay, Drama Ha High, split pot game. Half of the pot goes to the best 5-card draw hand. There's only one draw in Drama Ha High. Other half of the pot goes to the best Omaha hand. So it's like 5-card Omaha. These split pot games are great. It's just like, it's like a fun puzzle with your brain trying to figure out which way to go, what's important, what's not. When's a good time to get out early because you're only drawing to half the pot. Queen's good. Omaha hand bad. Early position bad. Let me know what you guys think about the pace of just having the one table with the random games, because I can add some tables if we want. I probably won't be able to go as deep into this stuff, so if you guys are finding these different games and what limited insight I have entertaining, let me know. And yeah, hit me up in the chat, let me know. You guys got any questions? If you guys don't know me, my name's Eric Baldwin, longtime poker pro. Largely a live tournament player. I kind of came up playing online tournaments back in the original poker boom heyday, but then kind of transitioned to live tourneys. Especially when a lot of our online poker options in the States went away. But yeah, when I got approached about Phenom Poker, asked a lot of questions, and the more questions I asked, the more excited I got about the opportunity. Genuinely feel we got something special going on here. I'd like to get dealt a playable Drama Ha hand because it's more fun to play than it is to fold. I was watching some strategy content the other day, and someone made the point like, the way you make money in poker is by playing as many hands as you can without getting like exploited. And you know, sometimes we get into these defensive mindsets, and that's really not where the money is, and it's really not where the fun is either. So, and it also puts you in just kind of a weak mindset. Whereas if you're just looking like, was there anything I can do here that's plus EV? You know, that's the kind of attacking mindset that you want to have. All right, 2 pairs of decent 5-card draw hand, but we're going to be out of position. I said I wanted to play a hand. I'm not thrilled about this one, but two sets on a board with 3 to a straight. What a weird hand. All right, we're just gonna bet it. Okay, if I keep the tray, I got a backdoor flush draw. If I lose the tray, I could pick up a front door flush draw or a straight draw with it. So I think I ditched the tray. Okay. A little flush in a set. Tough to be scooped, so we can keep building the pot. Okay, 2 pair. Or excuse me. Yeah, 2 pair in my 5-card hand. And a flush in my Omaha hand. Ought to be good for half of it, right? And then some. PLO brothers. I don't know. I can't read whatever this language is. But I appreciate you being here. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that you guys are saying very nice things about the stream. And cool to see you guys out there doing the stream, and I love seeing the big Omaha action on Phenom as well. All right, this is tempting from a Omaha perspective, but it's pretty hopeless on the 5-card draw side. And these split pot games are fun, but you can really get sucked in when you've got something that looks like fun to draw to half of the pot. Believe me, like, that's how I made all my money in high school. A lot of my buddies would just stick around with anything for anything in split pot games, and it ended up paying for a lot of dates and a lot of baseball hats when I was in high school. So believe me, 25 years of experience watching people chase half the pot and ending up broke at the end of the night. All right, this one's kind of fun. We can get creative and make a winner here, and we're in the cutoff. All right, what do we got here? I don't know, we're not folding before we draw, that's for damn sure. Looks like I got a gutter and a pair. This ace looks pretty useless, so we can start pitching that. 10 could be useful, 8 could be useful, but shit, then I'm drawing at a really weak draw hand. This kind of stinks. I'm gonna pitch the 8, keep the backdoor flush draw, and gutter, I guess. Nah. I think that worked out all right. We got an open ender and trips, and nobody bet. Makes us feel good about our 5-card draw hand, and we got some outs. Like I'm dreaming of a blue 5. Drew 1 and then check raised. Did we run into a boat? Did we run into a straight or a flush? Let us find out. Wow. Interesting. Okay. So that might have been a play designed to just drive those other 2 players out to improve his high equity. I'm gonna pull that one up. And I don't really know what I'm doing, and I don't really know these players, so when I see something like that, I'm trying to figure out, like, wow, is that like an advanced play? Something I gotta add to my mixed game arsenal? Or maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, so we got check raised on the turn by 2 pair and a nut flush draw, but he sure as hell wasn't gonna win the high half. So I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, now we're playing some stud 8 or better. Now we got a pair with a low card and only 1 low card behind us. So we're gonna come in for a steal. And in these stud games, it's played with an ante. So as you can see, 6 players, we already got $6 in the pot. And when somebody is forced to bring in, there's $7.50 in the pot. So if you can come in for a $4 complete, and try to win 750, you don't need to succeed all that often to make that a profitable play. And then even if you do face action, it's not like you're drawing dead. All right, I'm gonna see if Phenom promoted this post or promoted this stream. Let's see if I can't put it out to my followers as well. Okay, if this was stud high, we'd be real excited. But as is, we got 2 spades dead. We only got 2 low cards. This feels like it could be an overvalued hand. And so if I was feeling pretty weak about it and I faced the situation where I'm facing a complete and a 2-bet, I'm not sure if I've ever folded 3 to a straight flush on 3rd Street in my life, and it could be terrible. You guys let me know. Yeah, Jay, that's no lie, man. That's where my baseball hat fund came from in high school. Right after the movie Rounders came out, we would get together at somebody's house, usually head to the basement, tell all the parents we were doing homework, and we'd watch Rounders and play poker. And I may or may not have dealt blackjack at the end of the night after the poker game broke to anybody that was stuck that wanted to try to get even. May or may not have happened. One of my early hustles, along with, I think I ran an NCAA bracket. That wasn't a hustle though. That was 100% on the up and up. But my big hustle was burned CDs. I was a big Napster, big LimeWire guy. One of the first kids in the school that I saved up poker money and got a CD burner. And then I would take orders from people at school, have them give me 15 to 17 songs, create whatever kind of mixtape they want, and I'd put it together for them, burn it for them. $5 at school. And then when big albums came out, I would just straight copy those and sell them. I think I sold like 30 copies of one of the Eminem CDs. All right, what do we got? Badacey. All right, if you remember, we played Badoosie. Now we're playing Badacey. Only difference, straights and flushes do not count against you. So the nuts is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's going on? There's Twitch, there's Kick. I never streamed on Kick. I was only doing it for a couple months before the series, and I was doing it on X, Twitch, and... Is this good enough? I said we were gonna play. I was doing it on X, Twitch, and YouTube, and then YouTube started giving me warnings, so I backed off of that one. But it seems like a lot of people do some streaming on Kick these days. Okay, we got the Badoogie against a draw 2. Still feeling good about it. Now we're feeling real good. Hopefully it made something that can pay us. Off to a pretty hot start, up 100 $108 coming into this hand. We've been going at it for 30 minutes. Let's see what else is going on here on Phenom at the moment. Maybe I should just get like a lower limit table and no limit going on the side just for something to flip back and forth with. Sorry, guys. Not sure on this spot if a 7 is worth much here. Kind of stinks to hold the 7 because then you're just not drawing at a great Badoogie. Also not sure how much I should be flatting or playing 3-bet fold. But let's try and figure it out as we go. Three-way pot, you're gonna need a stronger Badoogie to win. So we're gonna go on that and just draw to this ace deuce. We're up against a D2 and a D1. I am happy to take a free draw. Okay. Ace deuce 4. Not loving that we gotta pay $8 to draw at this, but okay. Drew 0 and then checked. Makes me feel like it's not a Badoogie. I think we got a chance with our 10 Badoogie. We did. All right. All right, this one's no good. We got a little 50-100 with a $20 ante 5-card PLO going. We will not be hopping in this game, but it's always fun to just pull up these high stakes games and just see the raw amount of money that's on the table. Pots get big in a hurry. Anyway, back to ours. That's one of the cool things about Phenom as well. We get 1K, 2K, 2K, 4K heads up matches. There's been full ring 1K, 2K. Yeah, it kind of brings it back to the glory days of online poker. There's some big time names playing some big time games that you're able to come rail and watch at Phenom Poker. You know, if you're not ready to play, so be it. Just create an account and get in here and check out what's going on. It's a fun environment. It's a community environment. We've got an incredible Discord server you guys should join and just kind of get the feel for the community. We got the chat box, which really adds a lot. If you're used to playing on a site that doesn't have a chat box, give us a shot. Like, I forgot how much it adds to the game. Get little rivalries going on, get some great jokes going back and forth. Sometimes you get some out of hand trash talking, but that's entertaining in its own right. Get dealt a 9 Badoogie. Happy to not get a walk. Got a rainy day in Vegas. Unexpectedly. But very welcomed. It's been a hot last few months of the summer. And it rains here so rarely that when it does, it's kind of nice. Feels kind of like this song. All right, I'm gonna keep an eye on this. We got a little full ring, 25 cent, 50 cent going. If I see a seat open up, I'm gonna hop in there. Here we got the deuce 5-7 3 card. I think it's good to play aggressive out of position. You drive out the big blind. Make it harder for this opponent to know how strong your hand is. And when you're up against a draw 3, get to feel pretty good about putting more money in the pot as you draw. We would have to hope he's bluffing a 3 card 8, I think. Which could happen. I think we made a good check on the turn there because he must have already had a 3 card 6 and we had a 3 card 7. 3-4. Good enough on the button? Today it is. So, I think an 8 is about where you want to draw the line for your starting hands. So this queen and jack, even though the queen's a heart, you would never keep like a 3 card queen. Well, that's no fun. Maybe we'll get in a PLO game. Blue is another player that's been around since the beginning. Good to see Blue in here. All right, 1, 2, 3. For those of you not used to Badoogie, 3 card, excuse me, 3 card hands end up winning pots quite often, and 1, 2, 3 is the best 3 card hand you can have. And in a spot like that, one worth value betting. All right, here's a fun one. Dramaha deuce to 7. This one might be a little weak to open. So it's a single draw game. You're playing deuce to 7 for half the pot. So it's not like you need like a good 4 card 8 or something to enter the pot. Like 4 cards to a jack is actually okay. And we've got a double suited hand with a little connectivity up here on the high end. So I don't mind playing this one. And against the big blind, that's a pretty wide, weak range. And I've got an open ender, so I'm just gonna stand pat with a queen. Do not like getting let into here. Gonna be hard pressed to call this one down. Excuse me. Drama Deuce to 7 might not be the most popular game in the world, but it is quite a fun game. It's another game where you're kind of torn, kind of like stud 8 or better. But even more so because like a good deuce to 7 hand does not lend itself to being a good Omaha hand, and a good Omaha hand does not lend itself to being a good deuce to 7 hand. So the best starting hands are kind of like these middling type hands. I'm not good enough at this game to know if keeping this queen. Normally I wouldn't keep a queen, but it kind of adds some value, and I have a straight draw where a 9 would be no good. So it's got me tempted to just stand pat and keep it. We got 4 pair and a queen. And so if he had a deuce to 7 hand that was not worth putting money in on the turn, that's a hand that's got a lot of 9 in it with another card that makes a straight. So I feel pretty good about folding this one, honestly. All right, we got a seat open. And a little hold'em game. Even though we got double suited aces here, you're not gonna win the deuce to 7 half if you're keeping aces. All right, here we go. We got the 2-table flow now. We're in. So we got No Limit Hold'em for the Hold'em fans. And we got Super Circus Mix for those of you into crazy mix games. I'll keep sitting a couple 1-2 tables just to see if we can get something going, and I will keep sitting at Omaha 8 or better because it is one of my favorite games. And if we can get a little game going, I wouldn't mind playing and talking some Omaha 8 or better for a minute. All right, let's see if we got this set up right. Dramaha deuce to 7. And then we switch over here. Yes, sir. We got the No Limit Hold'em rules posted at the top if you're a stone noob. We got a little chat going on here. Hoser asks, Baldy, do you work at Phenom? Team Pro Ambassador. As you can see, in addition to the chat box, we also got some pretty cool avatars. And I mean, I get to see a flop. We will complete. And now we're getting sucked in. Getting sucked in further, potentially. Okay, blue did not draw. Which means we're probably beat on the deuce to 7 by blue. So we're looking for a boat. That is not it. Good news is, if blue bets on the end, we get to see if elastic comes along before we make our decision. I had that totally wrong. Another good thing about mixed games, you feel foolish in one game, the game always changes pretty quickly. I feel like I lost my train of thought somewhere in there, so goodbye to whatever that thought was that I was going down. Off into the ether and into stud high-low regular land. Stud high-low regular, aka no qualifier, is 7 card stud high-low, but there is no 8 or better qualifier. So there will always be a high half of the pot and a low half of the pot awarded. Okay, here we go. A little hold'em action. Got a pretty hand. We got pretty hands everywhere. So in stud high-low regular, the big pro tip, play it like Raz. And if you backdoor into a high, cool. But if you're playing high-only hands in stud high-low regular, you are torching money. Because the people going on the low, you're not going to beat them on the low if you're playing a high-only hand. You're just not going to outdraw them on the low very often at all. So you're basically just letting them free roll you. You're just throwing money in the pot, hoping to get it back at the end of the hand. And when you don't, it's expensive. Looks like we took her down with a little C-bet with that queen jack of clubs. So we are off and running. Up a $1.18. Having a blast. So we got ante-tables on Phenom now too. This is a straight 25 cent, 50 cent, no ante-table. So if you're playing for blood, you're probably going to be playing pretty tight. We are not playing for blood. We will loosen up our standards a little bit. Although it is kind of hard for me after trying to play well all the time to like let myself get splashy sometimes, but hey, maybe it's good for me. And we make a flush against a hoser. And he rivered just enough to pay us. Thing of beauty. Up almost $4. Got anything going in the chat? Risky asks, is Phenom Poker profitable from the site? Not exactly sure what you mean there. I do know we have some of the, if not the lowest rake of any of the online poker rooms. So if you're looking for it to be beatable as a player, you got a better shot on Phenom than you do anywhere else. Especially when you factor in our rakeback and player referral models and our Phenom token. A lot of opportunity for Phenom Poker to be very profitable. Oh boy, the moment has come that I've been fearing. It's time for Archie 86. And I'm gonna have to read my own rules that I made to figure out how to play this. We got 4-bet with the King 10 suited. Doesn't feel good. I don't feel like folding. So I won't fold. Don't call this at home. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what lighting $7 on fire looks like. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me to do some creative nonsense. All right, let's figure out Archie. Triple draw, high-low split game where players aim for both the highest and lowest hands from 5 cards. Need 6s or better to qualify for the high. And 8 or better to qualify for the low. Okay, Archie, here we come. We got a pair of queens. Let's see what happens. I wonder how this game breaks down into how much you should be going after low hands versus high hands. Low hands, it feels like you're drawn to kind of half the pot unless you got like a straight draw or a flush draw going. And those are pretty hard to make. So my instinct would be to go for the high. Especially since even if you only have one pair, you've basically already qualified. We're facing a lot of heat from a draw too. If he had trips, I would have expected a 4-bet pre-draw. Either way, I'm not too proud of my queens. All right, we're getting in here and hold'em with a little early position King 8 suited. For some of you nits out there, this is a hand class that is actually better than it appears. Even hands as weak as like King 6, King 5 suited can be opens from early position, especially when there's an ante in play. We might be pushing it a little bit with no ante, but so be it. All right, from our other hand with Hoser, I think this dude's too passive. So this is a spot where I would basically never bet in theory land, but I'm just gonna go ahead and value bet my hand in the real world here. Now we're not too proud of it. We're kind of just gonna block and assume he's not gonna find enough raises. Looks like he floated us just with overcards, got out of the way on the turn, and that's a big win for our hand. Oh, Archie. Is an open-ender a good enough hand to play from early versus a low jack open? Today it is. I'm guessing this is a torch. One person showed strength and there's 4 ranges behind us that could have just been dealt something like super strong. So I'm probably torching it, but hey, if we make a straight, we're smiling for now. Wonder how Archie got its name. I think I would bet money that it was named after some old road gambler named Archie that came up with it, and he was just a legendary character. That's what I'm going with. Here we're getting in trouble for... Oh, okay. Okay. But Elastic has been pat for a minute, so I'm not even sure our hand's good enough to raise. Especially with a range behind us that could have filled up or made a flush. So this is probably why I shouldn't have even played this hand. Punished. And like that, we've dwindled almost all of our profit from our early heat. Yeah, sorry the chat box is not really showing up on stream. I'll get that worked out before next time. I am able to view chat, so please message away. I am able to read it from my OBS. Oh, maybe I could do this. I mean, I could show it to you like this, but then I'm blocking the screen. Let me out of Archie. Archie is my nemesis. Okay, we got 4 to a low. Love Archie. So these games are fun because, okay, Apocalypse draws 1. Does he have 2 pair? Does he have a straight draw? Does he have a flush draw? Does he have 4 to a low? If he has 4 to a low, do I really want to draw to an 86? And then you're like, well, do I break my 8? I could draw to the Miracle 5 and potentially scoop. So you gotta kind of handicap how much you think Elastic's got a made low. My 8-6 was good somehow. We happened to run into an 8-7. Okay, we get to play a little Limit Omaha 8 or better. This is the game I was gonna play today, but I haven't been able to drum up any action thus far. So this is kind of exciting for 6 hands. And we got a little top pair in the No Limit Hold'em streets. Against a check back that has a lot of ace-X in it. Not feeling great about it, even though we got a pair and a flush draw. Okay, you guys ready? We're gonna really put the heat on them. Let's go for it. Had to make it a lot, right? People don't like to fold top pair. Is that a good risk-reward ratio? Okay, let's review this hand. Baldy's strategy review. So this was a single big blind, okay? This wasn't big blind, small blind. I'm in the big. We got the king jack, we defend. Top pair. Check, check. Turn ace. Check. Bet. We got him on an ace pretty solid at this point, just based on the way I've seen people play. Call. On the river. We face a bet. We don't think he's likely to have a deuce in his hand. Or a flush. And so we go for it. $49 to win $6. Only needs to work 8 out of 9 times to break even or something like that. Okay. Omaha high-low. Pretty starting hand. Did not go the way we wanted. Omaha high-low is a cool game. Honestly, when people ask me, like, what's the first mix game I should get into if I'm looking to play around, maybe learn some, I think my go-to answer is going to be limit Omaha 8 or better. And here's my reasoning. The structure is just like limit hold'em. So it's a flop game. If you're coming from hold'em, it's a flop game. So there's some similarity there. Now we're going from 2 cards to 4 cards. So it's kind of like a little introduction to Omaha, getting used to using 2 cards out of your hand, 3 cards from the board. And it's a high-low split pot game, so you're getting a little introduction to a split pot game. So I really like Omaha 8 or better in terms of an introductory mix game. I've always kind of been drawn to the game, honestly. Like, I started playing online poker when I was 18 or 19, I think. And the site that I was playing on, there was always a little bit of Omaha 8 or better action, and for whatever reason I was drawn to it and spent a lot of time in my dorm room playing heads up and 3-handed Omaha 8 or better. What do we got? Okay, in the chat, we got Booyah asking for a giveaway. I like it. I like the directness, Booyah. There we got 3/4 of that pot. So we chopped the low half with the 6-5, and we didn't have much on the high. And just like that, Omaha 8 or better is gone. My spiel is gone. And we're on to Drama Doogie. So this one is going to be half Omaha, half Badoogie. So it's another one kind of like Dramaha Deuce to 7, where the 2 games are really pulling at each other from, like, it's hard to make a good Omaha hand that's also a good Badoogie hand. These are some pretty interesting games. All right, we got a little ace-10 suited over here. Unfortunately, do not flop the royal. Things are looking bleak. We got a couple cards that are going to block a lot of their continues, so I'll check it through one time. Yeah. I was worried that was going to happen. A lot of times you see a lot of passive play at low stakes, so when your opponents check once or twice and you block the strong hands that hard, sometimes it's going to be tough to get paid. At least we didn't have the royal, then we'd really be crying. Alright, a small blind flatting range is supposed to be pretty tight. However, I think we get people to overfold all the small pocket pairs that they flat from the small blind, so we'll go ahead and take a little stab at it. A little stab. What kind of a giveaway you looking for, Booyah? Do you have a Phenom account? If any of you guys are watching and you want to actually try out Phenom Poker and you create an account during this stream using my referral code, and I can tell me what your screen name is, I'll be able to verify that you did indeed create your account during this stream. Hit me up in the chat. I'll send you a few bucks to try it out. We got tournaments now on Phenom, and they're still in the early days. Not massive guarantees by any means, but we do have a pretty comprehensive tournament schedule of all different types of games. Got a Big O tournament, No Limit Hold'em, Torse tournament. All these green ones are the ones with guarantees on them. So as you can see, we got a pretty comprehensive schedule. So if you guys like tournaments as opposed to cash games, Phenom's got you covered, and you're gonna be happy you got in early, just due to our rewards system and our rakeback system. Drama Doogie. Okay. Man, this game feels weird. We got a bad Badoogie. These games will melt your brain. If you're used to playing Hold'em, like a 6 or 8 hour Hold'em session is gonna feel like a 2 hour mixed game session if you're new to them. I mean, I think we got enough to bet. I gotta keep an eye on Elastic here. Not quite sure what he or she's up to. Alright, this is probably a pretty good Drama Doogie hand. We've got a Jack Badoogie, a little bit of connectedness and a suit. I mean, it's not much for a high hand, but what are you gonna do? Flopped a double gutter. It's not bad. Did I 3-bet pre? I think I did. think we made it through an orbit, right? Didn't we start with deuce to 7 Raz? That was kind of fun. Okay, so we made it through an orbit. Maybe we transition to a little PLO action. Hey, we got Chino Anthrax right here in the chat. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, Phenom Live is it's been going weekly for a few weeks now. I know we had Jungle Man on here. I know we had Nemo on here. I think we got Angela Jordison coming up next week. So keep an eye out. And our team's doing a great job with all the socials and promotions and coming up with new, cool, fun stuff. Hopefully keep some engagement going on with the community and help spread the Phenom gospel, if you will. Any of you guys ever do any streaming in the chat? Happy to give you a shout out. I know the PLO brothers do. I saw you guys in here earlier. I tell you what, this stuff is a little more involved and a little more energy intensive than I thought it was going to be. There's a lot of multitasking going on. I'm not used to sitting in a room by myself talking for hours on end. Not necessarily the most social creature by nature. So I'm not gonna lie, at the end of a long stream, it takes a little toll. But it is kind of cool too, right? Like, playing some card games, sending it out to the internet. We got the aces. Against Hoser. I don't know how derogatory of a term Hoser is, but it feels kind of fun to call someone a Hoser. Wasn't that a thing like, is it a Canadian thing? Alright, we took her down with the aces. Now we're about to lose a deuce to 7 Raz pot. But we got a suited connector over here on the button. Yeah, streaming. Got to get all your equipment. My man Jeff Boski hooked me up with some recommendations on streaming equipment. Then you got to set it up. Definitely used our AI overlords quite a bit for troubleshooting. We live in a pretty amazing time where if you want to get competent at something, you can pretty much do it. So yeah, definitely used a lot of AI to help just set up the OBS streaming software and troubleshoot this and that and fine-tune the microphone. You know, you can have it give you like great advanced settings to really help with your audio quality, and I think audio quality is a big deal when it comes to streaming. But yeah, if any of you guys are ever... It's also incredibly tough to grow a following. Like, the people that do, I think consistency is like a huge key. And from the sounds of it, you go through like long periods of streaming to not very many followers at all. in order to build a following. And then, of course, you're subject to what the algorithm does like and doesn't like. And so kind of comes full circle where you would think like something like streaming should be like this original creative endeavor. And it probably, it is to a certain extent for sure. But then you also find yourself, you know, following all these rules to be successful at it. I think as the tournaments ramp up on Phenom, I could see myself doing like some late night tournament streams. I do still consider live tournaments my bread and butter, my day job. So that might fit in nicely there. I kind of like the nighttime vibe. Sometimes other people will be streaming and like wrapping up their streams, and so they might send you like a raid of their followers. I think it can be a good way to grow a following. We just invented a little lead there with the Queen Jack O and won a nice pot. That was nice. Okay, back to Badusi. I think somebody was talking baseball in here. Another nice win by your Sacramento A's. Hey. It's not for long, buddy. They just won a series. They won 5 in a row. They dropped one yesterday at the Red Sox, and they won again today to win a series at Fenway Park. They're only like 8 games under 500. They went on a stretch where they lost like 20 out of 22. I'm telling you, man, this A's baseball team is going to be something to follow. For those of you not into baseball, the longtime Oakland A's are moving to Las Vegas, and they are opening here in 2028 in a brand new $2 billion stadium on the Las Vegas Strip. And if you couldn't tell, I, for one, am quite excited about it. But in the interim, they are playing in Sacramento in a minor league stadium. This is their first of 3 seasons playing there temporarily. So I've been starting to follow them. And one of the most exciting young lineups in baseball. I know there's a lot of hard feelings in the Bay Area, and I couldn't imagine, you know, losing a longtime team like that. So do my best to be respectful of people's emotions with losing their team there. At the same time, you know, I'm not going to hold back on being excited about them coming here. When I moved to Vegas 18 years ago, and we had no pro sports teams, and now we're quickly becoming like one of the sports entertainment capitals of the world, and pretty exciting. And baseball was my love growing up. Played through college, and just super excited about being able to call them my hometown team and be able to follow them. Vegas actually is home to the A's AAA minor league affiliate, the Las Vegas Aviators, and they have a beautiful minor league stadium, about a 10,000 seat stadium in Summerlin, kind of near the Red Rock Casino. And if you're a baseball fan and ever in Vegas, highly recommend checking out a ball game there. Just a beautiful ballpark, great amenities, high quality baseball. A lot of the future stars. Might catch a couple of major leaguers on a rehab assignment. I saw Max Scherzer pitch there last year. I've seen a lot of good major league players come through Las Vegas. I saw Trevor Bauer pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Sr. once at the old minor league stadium in Las Vegas. Any of you baseball heads out there, that was quite the sight. I should probably talk baseball more, or do like a baseball theme stream, or I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. But I can just tell I get more passionate when I'm talking about baseball. It's one of those things that just kind of gets me going. Got my name on the season ticket list. They haven't released details yet, but I think it would be cool to get season tickets when they do get here. Not gonna be pure C betting here. I mean, with no ante, he's probably not supposed to have a whole bunch of 3x here, and I probably can. So it's kind of player dependent. Do you think the guy's going to check raise enough? Do you think he's going to check raise more than he should or not? But either way, I mean, I got backdoor with this hand. Would have been able to call a check raise fairly happily. Play some poker from there. But once I get check called, his check calls that I beat are ace highs. So hopefully I'm still good. Like that. All right, I'm gonna look at the lobby. Okay, heads up against the butt. Would definitely be randomizing this decision in the normal setting. And now we're gonna wave the white flag. It's funny, playing single raise pots out of position has really gone through a lot of stages over the years. Like, when I first started playing online, C betting was just the big thing. You gotta do it. People fold, that's how you won pots. And people would just spill out small C bets left and right, even out of position. And then the solver era comes along, and we learn you're not supposed to do that. You don't have a range that can support that. When you do that with all your good hands, you're leaving huge chunks of your range just hanging out to dry. So it's a lot more passive out of position than we thought. But then people started simplifying, and they would just range check their entire range out of position in a lot of spots. And that's not right either. So it's a very player dependent game. Trying to handicap your opponent on, are they going to continue enough? Are they going to float enough? If you check, are they going to bet enough? You know, if they play too passively, you still get to bet a lot. If they play aggressively and bet too much, you're going to want to check a lot. So single raise pots out of position are some of the hardest spots in poker, especially deep stack. Over here we got some limit Omaha high. We got a beauty. Open ender, 2 backdoor flush draws. I like continuing to put money in the pot here because if somebody folds you just get an equity boost, you know, like maybe they had a weak pair of sixes. Get that out of there. All of a sudden you're just cleaning up outs for yourself. Like if I hit an ace on the turn, all of a sudden my pair of aces might be good where they might have turned 2 pair of aces and sixes. Okay, here's one of those spots I was talking about earlier. This isn't the strongest Omaha hand, but in this game, equities run so close together that it's all good. And in PLO, you might start thinking about like making tight laydowns, but not in limit. Okay, we do not block aces, queens, jacks, or clubs, which could definitely be bluffing hands here, so we're gonna make the light payoff. And that was a pretty good thin value bet with that. Oh, 2 pair, I guess. Aces would have been good too. Stuck in call mode, hoping we get half the pot, but not feeling good about it. Nice hand, blue. Might be a little loose. We don't have a whole lot going for our 5-card hand, even though it looks pretty. All we really have is a gut shot, but it's a pretty good PLO hand. Not the flop we're looking for. But we certainly have a lot of ace-X in our range, so maybe we run a little bluff here. Against a draw 1. We find an ace. That was nice. So when you feel good about half the pot and you're in position, you kind of just get to apply pressure and free roll the other person folding. But we actually got scooped there. Understandable for 4's full not to want to raise the pot. Boy, I am wearing down. It's been a minute since I put in a little online mix session. And then trying to think out loud on top of it. Brain's going to mush. Alright, here we go. Let's get a little railbird action going. What do we got here? We got 300, 600 fun mix going. And as you can see, when you play high enough stakes, it goes to real names on Phenom. So another cool thing about like railing the high limit games is, you know, you get to see who's playing. So these guys are playing 300, 600, deuce to 7, triple draw. Here's the fun mix, is these games right here. This seems to be one of the most popular mixes on Phenom. I've been playing a fair amount of $10, $20 fun mix. And it is a good mix. Johannes Becker. I remember seeing him in the 100K Super High Roller Bowl mixed event, as well as Chad Eveslage, or however it's pronounced. Alexander Kostritzen, I know that name. And Phenom Poker's very own Matthew Vallejo and Anatoly Zirin. Anatoly has been a grinder on the site. He has been a believer in Phenom since the early days and has put in so much volume. It's truly impressive. And has been handsomely rewarded too. If you're unfamiliar with our Rakeback player reward program, there's the Phenom token. You can accumulate Phenom token as a reward for your gameplay, and the value of the Phenom token goes up as the site grows. So, I mean, we're still in the early days at Phenom. Tournaments have launched, but these guarantees are nowhere near where I envision they're going to be. So, and tournaments are all the rage these days, so it's still early in the game. So come check us out, start grinding up some token, and hopefully we can all, as a Phenom Poker community, celebrate as the token price goes higher and higher, as the product and site continues to get better and better. Sounds like a great plan to me. Someone made the comment they'd never seen me without a hat on today, so I decided to go no glasses, no hat. Really throw you guys for a loop. I do in fact have hair. A lot of it is gray, but it is in fact there. What do you guys want to talk about? Guys, feel free to hit me up with any questions you want in the chat. I'm just scrolling through the lobby. There's a lot of high stakes stuff and a lot of low stakes stuff going on. Trying to find a spot. All right, we're getting impatient. We're gonna do a little squeezing with a suited connector here. Force the action a little bit. Spooky Pants has been a grinder on Phenom. Definitely put in a lot of volume in this 25-cent, 50-cent game. All right, from the small blind, Ace Queen's gonna be in our range, King Queen's gonna be in our range, Queens are gonna be in our range. Pretty strong flop. There we go. All right. Thinking about switching up here and playing some short-handed PLO 8 or better? 6-card PLO 8 or better? Does that sound fun? Big O is definitely a popular game on Phenom, as well as the 6-card version, which I've heard some refer to as Big Easy. On the site, we've just got it listed as 6-card PLO 8 or better. But yeah, I think I need to lock in on one type of game. I think my mixed brain is fried for the day. All right, so I'm gonna sit out next big blind here. I'm gonna sit out next big blind here. And then we're gonna peruse the lobby together and find something to play. The A's are 30-19 since July 24th. Best record in the AL, third best in the MLB over that stretch. Sorry to go back on the A's, but we also have the top 2 contenders for AL Rookie of the Year. If you've never heard of him, Nick Kurtz. The guy's got 30-some bombs already, like 1,000 OPS. He's putting up just ridiculous numbers. One of the sickest rookie seasons for a first base slugger in years. And the kid's 22. Guy that's second in the AL Rookie of the Year running is Jacob Wilson, son of Jack Wilson. The guy hits everything. Over 300 average. Near the league leaders for average. Plays a great infield. My God. Sorry. I went on X to try and repost something and I saw the algorithm got me. They got me with a little A's porn. All right, let's repost this. All right, I am going to try to go for another 50 minutes or so. Okay, we are out of the Super Circus mix. We ended up turning a $56 loser after being pumped up like 120 bucks early. We really faded. Time and time again, you start chasing stuff or start playing suboptimal starting hands and you really pay the price. But that's all right, it was fun. And we go out of our Hold'em game, stealing the blinds, up $12. We'll call it a win. All right, leave table. Leave table. Still waiting on someone to come play me a little 10-20 limit Omaha 8 or better. Don't be shy. Trying to get a little 1-2 no limit Hold'em with an ante going. It must just be me. These games have been going. These games have been going, but nobody wants to play with me. Wish I could make a sad emoji. But anyway, we'll stay seated there, see if we can get some action. But in the meantime, let us check out the Phenom lobby. A lot of action going on here. Let me get this sized up. Okay. Well, while it's here at the top, let's go over the Phenom Grind Prix leaderboard. As you can see, have a leaderboard promotion where the people who generate the most rake throughout the week get rewarded with real life rewards. And you can get these rewards paid in tokens, I believe. So these guys putting a grind in are definitely successfully grinding up a nice little stake in Phenom Poker. One of the many cool things we got going on. I showed you guys the tournament lobby. This is tourneys only launched several weeks ago, and they're only getting better. And believe me, when Phenom launched the cash games, you know, it wasn't perfect yet. And you know, it was reflected in the token price. You know, we didn't have a whole lot of action going on. Some days there'd only be 2 or 3 games going. But look at the lobby now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. There's like 20 tables going right now. And yeah, the token price is over 7x from when we launched. And where I was going with that though is the cash game product got so much better. And the developers are building this from scratch basically. So as they make improvements, those improvements are there to stay and they're able to build on top of it. It's not like Phenom is some old outdated software that Phenom bought and is now trying to like patch things together to get things to work. No, these guys are building this from scratch and making real improvements, and people love the cash game product right now. And so the reason I say that is because tournaments, yeah, the guarantees might be a little bit low now, but those improvements are being made. And guess what? Phenom's not spending money marketing tournaments yet. They want the product to be in a place where, you know, the time is right to really make that marketing push. So I'm telling you, come check it out. You know, and if you're interested in mixed games too, tournaments give you a perfect opportunity. If you don't want to play low stakes cash, you can come in and, you know, buy into a $25 Torse tournament. You're going to get a lot of hands and a lot of experience in a bunch of different games at that $25 price point. So we've got a little something of everything, and it's only getting better and only going to grow from here. But let's check out these ring games. Okay, this No Limit Hold'em game is the one we were just playing for a while. These games we're a little priced out of, I'll admit. So all these purple tables are tables with a Phenom Pro going at them right now. So that's another cool thing. Like, a lot of our ambassador team is on here playing, and most all of us are friendly people. I think all, but yeah, get in here. So let's find something else fun to play. So this 10-20 fun mix is definitely fun. There's 2 tables of this going. I could get into that mix, but I was thinking about maybe a little PLO action. So we could get in 25 cent, 50 cent, 5-card PLO. That could be fun. Or we could challenge... Who could we challenge? We could challenge Johannes Becker to heads up 2K, 4K, 8-game mix. Pass. This is me right here. Come play. Team Pro is playing. Actually, he's not playing. He's sitting out and he's sad that nobody will come play with him. Alright, let's see what we can get going. Let's play some 2-4, 6-card, PLO, high-low, 8 or better. See what happens. And this will be heads up, so it'll be fast paced. And it'll just be 1 game, so I'm hoping that even though my brain is pretty taxed right now, we're gonna be able to handle this, maybe dial in a little bit. It's a big bet for a high only straight board. But we got no blockers to the straight, bottom 2 pair. Can't continue. Wonder what kind of open size we want to be using on the button here. These PLO high-low games, you know, the bet sizing theory is interesting because, you know, it's pot limit. So even though you're only calling X amount, you got to fear calling bigger bets on later streets. So you can kind of leverage smaller bets, especially in position. Well, we did good here. Just keep taking them to B50 value town. I am no expert when it comes to the theory of bet sizing in high-low pot limit games. So he's going with the full 3x. My gut tells me that allows me to fold too many hands. I wouldn't be surprised if a smaller open size is right. Also keeps the pot deeper when you're in position. And this is the second time he's hammered me with a pretty big C-bet. So something, just starting to take notes, just starting to think out loud, trying to gather some player tendencies here. So this might be a guy that likes to blast, you know, and against a guy who likes to blast, you might tighten up a little bit, get a little snug pre-flop and start with a little higher quality hand that's able to handle heat better. And yeah, we got ace-7 on the low and deuces full on the high. He had the ace-4. these 6-card games, you always got a little something going, so you got to stay somewhat disciplined to keep yourself from playing too many pots. As you can see, we got a third player here, always buried, joining the game. I gotta study up on this game. It is a fun game, but there's definitely a lot of spots I don't know. Like from the small blind, should we have a big flatting range? Blind versus blind, should we have a big limping range? These are the places that my mind goes. But you also got to allow yourself to play some poker too. And you don't want to hit yourself with so many questions like that and be like, man, I don't know this, I don't know that. And you take yourself entirely out of like your flow and rhythm and confidence as a poker player. So yeah, I'm going to be making like little leaks here, little leaks there. But you know, if you are still doing hand reading and, you know, viewing other players' tendencies, you start to kind of naturally just formulate game plans that work. I met a dude at the gym today who someone introduced me to him, and they're like, Eric's a poker player. And the dude's like, oh, I just started playing. I can't get enough of it. You know, I'm going to the casino to play. And I started talking to him, and I started going down the line of, yeah, let me know if you ever need any resources to, you know, study or get better, or courses to take, or what training sites are good. And I'm just like, I caught myself, I'm like, is that really what he's getting into poker for? And so it was interesting perspective. My mind instantly goes there, and his is just like, yeah, that takes all the fun out of the game. So it's definitely a balance in poker, and definitely something that I think is continually coming full circle, or came full circle, over adjusted, is now readjusting. Not sure. And when it comes down to it, it's truly choose your own adventure as well. Like, what do you play for? You know, if you're not going to enjoy it, you're not going to play your best. So the argument that you're not playing optimally doesn't really hold up, because if playing optimally takes you out of your flow and like your enjoyment of the game, that's not optimal either. So, and if you're doing it professionally, of course you're going to want to, you know, be as good as you can technically and exploitatively and have fun. That's, you know, that's the perfect world. But you know, it's just, you don't want to get too one-dimensional, or, you know, it's a hard enough game mentally with the swings and confidence-wise going through a downswing. So it's just some rambling thoughts to some things to keep in perspective, I think. Two, 3, 4, 5. 9 king. Not a great hand, but couldn't imagine having 4 wheel cards and just folding. So yeah, I was saying earlier, we have both ante and no ante No Limit Hold'em and PLO tables on Phenom now. And I was kind of interested to see how it would play out with the No Limit Hold'em tables. I personally think I would prefer an ante table. It just, you know, allows you to play more hands. Kind of motivates more people to get into the pot, grows the pot a little bit. But it seems to be a pretty even mix of ante and no ante tables that go. And you know, that's what Phenom's all about. You know, Phenom doesn't put both of those out there hoping that people play one more than the other. They put both of those out there so the players can choose what they like. That's kind of the mission statement at Phenom, is, you know, building a site for the players, what the players want. So a little bit to be determined in terms of if the anti-games will take over, or if it'll remain kind of a no anti environment. So this table filled up pretty quickly. People enjoy this game for sure. I was honestly kind of shocked that the Hold'em tables I was sitting in the Limit 08 table didn't fill up. All right, I'm gonna hop in this 25 cent, 50 cent, 5-card PLO high, do some two tabling, give up on these no limit games for now, and try to lock in for a little spurt at the end of the session, a little PLO spurt. I just need to keep in my head which one is high-low and which one is high only. All right, so here's our 5-card PLO. Here is our 6-card PLO high-low. And off we go. What's your Twitch, Baldy? Got a pretty one here in the 6-card high-low. So yeah, when you're kind of picking bet sizing on the fly, one of the best things you can focus on is how much is it going to cost me to target a large chunk of my opponent's range. And so you kind of just picture yourself in the other person's shoes with kind of like a medium strength hand, and ask yourself, what kind of a bet size would I hate facing right now? And that's going to be a pretty good answer. Something pretty good to go off of. If you can just do that, you're going to... I mean, there's a lot to be said for just having some type of a game plan to go off of. And if you think about like what a solver is doing, a solver is really just exploring all different types of like strategic options. Some of those options have, you know, good things going for them, and others don't. And it ends up converging on an option that is the best option, but that doesn't mean there's not a lot of strategies out there that make a lot of sense. And you know, if you've played around with a solver very much, there can be completely different sizing and frequency combinations that yield very similar EVs. So if you've got something in your head like this makes a lot of sense here, I'm going to start out with this kind of strategy, and you've got that coherent strategy in your head, I bet you're not losing very much EV at all from what optimal would be, and you're playing a strategy that you can execute and one that feels good and one that came to you intuitively. So it sounds simple and oversimplified, but just having a reason for doing what you're doing is going to get you 90% of the way there a lot of the time. And that's another reason why solver study can be so valuable, is you just see different types of strategies, and then you see why they're implemented on certain boards, why different ones are implemented on different boards, and it just kind of grows your mental library of what types of strategies are good in what types of situations. And then, you know, you grow that library. Now, when you're out in the wild in a spot that you're trying to solve on the fly, there you have it. You're just going to be able to come up with a better approximation than you otherwise would. Sorry if I'm going too hard nerd speak. Sometimes that's another challenge of streaming, is if you're, or like poker commentary, for example, you know, you're trying to appeal to a broad audience, a broad variety of skill levels, you know, but it's all good. Haven't had much action at this, or many playable hands in this 5-card PLO yet. Here's one. Double suited. You know what? Let's get some money in there to play for. Okay, we have no hearts. Probably a mix between small bet and check. I don't know. In a limp pot, I wonder if it plays more like a single raise pot or more like a 3-bet pot. When you're deep as heck out of position without like relevant blockers, it's just not a pretty situation where you're going to want to put a whole lot of money in the pot. If I were thinking of a turn card, this may have been one of them. With him being the aggressor, I probably still don't get to lead on a queen, even though it changes the board. And now we are happy to raise. Most people, when they pot like this, even if they have a set, they're just going to go with it. So we're happy to get the money in, and even if he has king 10, we got a nice free roll. Luckily, he did not have a set. Going back to kind of the solver choosing a strategy rant that I was on, it makes me think of the value of learning and playing different games as well. Like, I think that's part of the value of learning new games in terms of just making you a stronger overall poker player. You know, you start to see similarities between the stud games or similarities between the draw games, and all of a sudden your brain's able to, you know, draw parallels from one thing to the other, or one game highlights the importance of equity realization or blockers or something, and it unlocks something in your head that helps you with another game. Just diving into the wonderful world of mixed games has so many positive things it can do for your all-around poker game. And if you're like me and you've been playing Hold'em for 20 years, it's also refreshing. You know, it's a change of pace. It helps you fall back in love with the game a little bit. So, cannot recommend it enough. And the best place to play mixed games online is right here at Phenom Poker. A lot of limp pots at this 25-50 cent level. Oh, what the heck? What the heck? I'll flick it in with a bad hand. And we're getting led into with a boat. That's good. Still have a boat. Hard for him to have a boat. It's hard for people to just find the bluffs here. So I think we do a little raising. I think we do a little raising and charging. What is happening? Okay, I guess you have the same hand. We have 4 unpaired cards that can make higher boats. So let's run it. So he's got the pair of 10, so that makes it less likely that he's gonna make a boat. So I think I found a little edge there. Having the unpaired cards gives you more outs to make higher boats. Looks like we're playing heads up now. Now my head's really spinning. I got too many grays to be multi-tabling heads up. Too many grays, bruh. Oh, now I feel like I'm just doing a lot of folding, but it's important to stay disciplined when the cards are not going your way. This is also one of those spots where it's like, I don't know, position's so huge that I'm not sure how much I should just be giving walks. So, but again, play poker, have fun, and in between sessions, you can try and do some studying and some research to see what your button strategy should be heads up. I'm a big note card guy. Like, I've got note cards all over my desk. Like, I would just scribble down, you know, look at heads up button play, you know, and try and hone in away from the table what my frequencies should look like. All right, I'm gonna keep going with this heads up table. You know what? I can handle this. I can handle doing both. Not fun check calling out of position. So one adjustment you can make is if your opponent is never really folding when you 2.5x, then you can pretty confidently jack up your open size to a 3x. Because if they're going to call anyway, you might as well charge them to do it and play a bigger average pot when you're the button. 2 high cards, not typically a great flop for the 3-better. And with no clubs in our hands, and the other dude's got 6 cards, sometimes you really just gotta kind of wave the white flag. I mean, we got a pair and a backdoor flush draw. Backdoor nut low draw. Like in limit Omaha 8 or better, this would be just an easy continue. But like even our backdoor suit is non-nut. We don't have ace deuce tray. There's just some issues with our hand. When you flop a set, you actually don't want the other 2 cards on board because they function as blockers to your full house. So this is literally the weakest set you could ever flop. Bottom set with top and middle pair blockers. And no low draw. Didn't have the discipline to lay it down. Couldn't beat much, but did not have the discipline. If any of you guys are good at 6-card PLO 8 or better, this ought to be drawing a lot of action to the site. If you guys are watching me get my face kicked in here. I got auto top up on, so even though I'm losing every pot, it looks like I still got a starting stack. But I'm over here taking lumps. For you guys. For Phenom Live. Almost basically all good hands, for sure all great hands in this game have an ace in them. Just any high-low game, hands with an ace in them are just going to be so much more powerful. I know I'm older than I once was, but I don't know how some of the online grinders play like multiple tables of heads up. Like Isildur, Phenom Ambassador, Phenom Team Pro, legend. When he grinds on here, he'll be 2-tabling heads up like 2K, 4K, 8 game. And how someone does that is just beyond me. And he'll do it for hours, too. It's truly incredible. Oh, we got the nuts. Probably gonna go for another 15 minutes or so. has been fun. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. We've done a little bit of everything today, from Super Circus Mix to No Limit Hold'em to Heads Up 6-card PLO high-low. We're back in this 5-card PLO as well. Does feel kind of good to get some reps though. Been a while since I streamed. Been a while since I played a session like this. So hopefully it's good for my brain, because I'm gonna have some fun this week. The Poker Masters PGT series is this weekend through next weekend. Definitely looking forward to that. Some live tourneys. If you guys are into live tourneys and have never played a PGT event, they do a tremendous job. The godfather of the PGT, Mr. Kerry Katz himself, was actually just on Jungle Man's podcast. I watched that the other day. It was very entertaining. Cool to get some perspective from Kerry and hear about kind of the story of Poker Go. Definitely recommend that one, as well as anything else Jungle puts out there. All right, got the ace deuce, got the 9 blockers. See, anything else that I wanted to make sure to talk about today? What else is going on at Phenom Poker? Our guy Big Hooney's been making final tables left and right. Of course, our guy Brian Rast won another bracelet this summer. He was heads up against Andrew Ye, another Phenom guy, not an official ambassador, but a longtime pro and super tough player with a great career. It was cool. Those two got heads up for a 10K Raz bracelet. So it was a all purple heads up match, and Andrew had Brian down to the felt, and Brian made an amazing comeback. That was pretty cool to witness. Sorry, Andrew. Congrats, Brian. Huck Seed, another Phenom Team Pro ambassador. He put in a full grind this summer, and I don't think he'd been doing that in recent summer, so it's super cool to see him just on board with Phenom and super optimistic on Phenom, and B, just a legend like himself out there grinding. Somebody in the chat, my man Battle Knight, is giving me advice in the chat. but my old brain is so fried right now. I'm gonna have to process that after the fact, Battle Knight, but allow me to thank you for what appears to be some strategy advice. And thank you for tuning in. Are you a player on Phenom Poker, Mr. Battle Knight? Ooh, that was nice. Get some value from worst straight. Hey! We're above $400 for a couple hands. Alright guys, I'm gonna play a couple more hands and shut it down. I can tell the time is nearing. Quality of my decision making is waning. And I gotta save some brain power to get ready for this Poker Masters series. Hopefully you guys can see me rocking a Phenom patch on some PGT final table streams here coming up this week. Alright, I'm gonna sit out of here. We got quartered. Sent us back south of 400 bucks. Gonna tip our cap to go on. And go on ourselves. Got 2 hands left of PLO 5 here before the blinds hit us. And a GG to you, sir. Ace, King, King, double suited. This is a hand class that can be played pretty aggressively. However, most people, especially at low stakes, they have a very aces heavy 3-bet range. Oh, we had a cold caller in here too. In that case, maybe I should have just 4-bet it. Not sure, I'll put that one on my note card as well. And now we're getting sandwiched by this lead. Brutal. You know what? It's my $54 and I'll do what I want with it. Can't outplay me now. Never a doubt. All right, one final hand. Oh, cool. Tony Pepperoni enjoying the stream, Baldy. All right. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate you. All right, let me say goodbye to these guys. And let me say goodbye to you. Thank you for joining me for Phenom Live. I believe next week we have Angela Jordison coming on. I know she likes to play some Big O when she's in the Phenom street, so I would expect some more pot limit Omaha high-low action. But thank you for joining me, and come check us out on Phenom Poker. Thanks.